welcome to the Maryland Fishing Line, episode 42. Today is Tuesday, March 9th, 2020. We're going to talk a little bit about fishing. I think it's probably safe to say, Joey,
we made it through our hump.
Well, know that we are a kayak fishing podcast, per se.
I'm going back paddleboard fishing.
You're going back to a paddleboard?
No.
You're going to sell all of this kayak stuff?
I could sell my native for well over MSRP. I feel like the amount of people that come in, is this for sale?
But you would never, ever, ever be able to get the
Everything
paddleboard.
has its price.
Everything has a price, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Before we get into all that, Joey, though, I would like to thank our sponsors, if that's okay with you. Can I do that real quick?
Yeah. Robin Caballero.
Modern
HVAC.
You're going to try to do it by
JD Firearms.
Maryland Kayak Outfitters in Lusby, Maryland, mdkayak.com. Come on out and enjoy a full day fishing in your very own pedal drive kayak, fishing kayak, mdkayak.com. JMJ Firearms, Mechanicsville, Maryland. Modern Air HVAC in Mechanicsville, Maryland. Robin Cavallaro at Remax One, a fantastic real estate agent.
She'll sell your stuff.
Stoney's Kingfishers in Solomon, Scotts Cove Marina in Deal Island, Huntingtown Automotive in Huntingtown, and Eat Chesapeake in Dunkirk, Rosehaven, and Bowie, otherwise known as the Chesapeake Grill. You're going to find links to all these folks in the show notes or the show descriptions. Make sure to let them know you heard about them here.
With Purd.
Now, we're kind of winging it a little bit tonight.
I got some good stuff to talk about.
You do have good stuff? Okay, I might let you run the podcast.
Not too good.
I will let you run the podcast. Let's see. First, before we get into all of that, though, who we got in the live stream? Let's see. Sean is here. Marcus is here. And Billy
Jones.
Billy, how's the back? I hope the back is doing okay. I saw earlier today Billy looked like he was having some back issues. Billy just set up his, he's got the same kayak as my Old Town, the 120 PDL.
Old Town Road?
He just converted that. He got one of the plates.
The motors?
And he put a trolling motor, but the trolling motor is like smack where the drive would be. So the trolling motor sits right in front of him, but there's no control there. I think he's still using the rudder to actually control the direction of the boat. Looks pretty doggone sharp, Billy. I'm actually would love to get some eyeballs on that. Maybe we could
on that.
Have a little. You were talking about doing a SOMD.
Yeah, sorry, it's been hectic. I need to. I was shooting for the 27th or 28th
of March.
Yeah, but I think that next day I'm doing an out and back trip to pick up about 30 kayaks. Okay. I'm trying to debate on just spending the day home with my lady. Yeah. So it might be the next weekend because I'll have boats too.
Okay.
So
maybe the beginning of April.
Yeah.
But definitely, Billy, if we do that, please,
Where's Billy
please. He's local. He's local.
He
fishes St. Mary's. St. Mary's Lake a lot.
Oh.
So he's right around the corner, man. That would be cool. I would love to get some eyeballs on that boat. I think that would be super cool. Joshua Evans and Phil is here.
Paul's
I saw Phil. Yeah, I saw Phil is in there. And Paul's here?
Yep.
Good. Rudy just jumping in.
Rudy. I don't know who Rudy is. Real quick, Sean, I got that email during the last podcast that the boat shipped out. Those boats shipped out. I didn't pick those ones up. I don't have a big enough truck or trailer, but those shipped out.
Cool.
A huge order of natives that are all sold, unless you need a Titan 13.5.
I just opened up my chat app because I'm going to try to follow along. I know you're on it, but I've only got like a little window that I can see stuff in, and it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. Billy just said the yellow perch are starting to warm up. Yep.
See what's in there. See what's in there.
I'm doing it right now.
Please, thank you. I'm sorry.
Billy says the yellow perch are starting to warm up. So that's the time of year. Now for the next probably 2-3 weeks, yellow perch kind of transitions right into the shad run for a lot of people. It overlaps a little bit because it's there's a good chunk of waters where you can do a little bit of both at, depending on what's swimming up them. Josh Evans wants to know if we fish tournaments. Brian does. I don't have time for that.
I don't know that I'm going to fish tournaments this year, though. Unless KBF with their kayak saltwater series.
So I remember I kept wanting to do the redfish one.
Yeah, if they do what they've been talking about. Did you just cut yourself with your fiddlestick knife?
My knife is my fiddlestick, like
I
multiple times every day.
I saw you throw the knife down and then shake your head.
I really need a real fidget spinner.
So if they do, I don't know that I'm going to have time to fish KBF this year, the largemouth, although I'll miss it. I really enjoyed doing it last year. I met a lot of cool people, some of the folks that are hanging around here are folks that I met through that.
He said the Mid-Atlantic KBF Series season is about to kick off April 10th on Lake Marburg.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
A Mid-Atlantic kayak.
Well, I know what
bass
it is.
fishing.
Yeah,
It's
I know
not,
what that is, but I don't.
Yeah, I think they're
They're doing an on-location tournament, not what you usually do with KBF.
So the KBF stuff, I did a lot of their challenge series, and I did well in that last year.
You did?
For my first time
Good.
tournament fishing. That's the first time I've ever tournament fished, and they run those 3 week long. I think they've changed a lot of stuff up this year.
Yeah.
They're not using Tourney X. It's really confusing, and I've tried to follow some of the stuff that Chad is doing with, talking about when to
What a
use this
Chad.
app. Sometimes you're using Tourney X. Sometimes you're using Chaos.
Sometimes
Fish
I just
Chaos.
want to go out and fish.
It just seems like it's super confusing to me, and I don't know.
Well, it
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
know.
Charles is here, and he was here today. I saw his pictures, and you told me he did really good.
Yeah. So Charles is Charles here?
Yeah, he just
Okay.
says here.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna fill some folks in on Charles. He sent me some pictures from earlier today, and when we get to reporting, and we'll talk about it. So what's going on? Still in the live? You're still in the live stream. You're still doing your work over there.
Yeah,
How about you?
Robert. Yeah, we're at St. Mary's Lake. It is right in the backyard here.
Mhm.
Actually, the Mill Creek and the Patuxent River right in the backyard. But Rooted Trout Bite in Coastal Bays by VA Line. Is that hot right now? I'm really bad with the trout bite and what that does south of here. White perch running in Tangier. Ooh.
Yep. Starting
Let's
to heat
see.
up.
St. Mary's was popular Saturday. Hot with fish with Rhino Fishing, SOMD, and Eric. I guess Darren and Eric were both out there.
Got to
Yeah.
fish you. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
saw Darren did dropped a video on
Yeah.
some on red baits or something. I guess springtime red. Springtime red is the color.
So there's the fishing stuff. Let's see. I asked DNR about fishermen starting early at St. Mary's Lake. They said hours are posted on the website and that the gate operated by those hours. No early start.
Ouch.
You could do the old Eric and Darren trick and just pull it in the pull it out the dam.
Pump it in a mile.
yeah.
By the time you got it in there, though, the gate would be open.
That's why I like the saltwater.
Yeah.
To worry about them gates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of in the chat. I will say, we talked about it this morning. I was butt naked while you called me, so I decided to pick it up. Luckily, I didn't turn on my FaceTime. The presence of kayak fishing this spring is blowing up.
Oh yeah.
You said Carrie Fisher or is it Christine? What's her
Christine
name?
Fisher. Yep.
Is it Carrie Fisher? What's her name from Star Wars?
Yep. Princess Leia.
Yeah, Princess Leia, the real princess, not Meghan Markle.
Mm-hmm.
Man, where was I then?
Second podcast in a row, we're bringing up Meghan Markle. You're in trouble.
I want Oprah to me.
I-
No, yeah, Christine was the cover of your magazine.
Mhm.
Was she
We
or
were
someone?
supposed to say that? I wasn't supposed to say that. I'm not supposed to talk about the covers,
Oh,
but that's okay.
it's just deja vu.
So what? I don't care. Christine Fisher is on
Sorry.
the cover.
I
of
saw
the
her.
April.
I was on the dark web, found her on some cover, and then I think I told you on the cover of BASS, it was a kayak angler.
Mhm.
Might have been her. I don't know.
What do you think about it?
It's blown up. I mean, the amount of people. Sean is an example. Sorry, Sean.
Went from a boat to
People. There's so many people I sell Titans to, or kayaks that have downsized. So have a friend with a big boat when you want to go catch the big red drum out in the middle of the bay. But that's the only reason you need a big boat around here now.
Yeah.
So,
It's think about it. It's so much more accessible. It's so much easier.
yeah.
It's a lot more. Although it seems like we spend a crap ton of money.
We don't.
Because they're basically like
Tell my wife that.
they're building blocks, and you just continually tinker. It's like
Yeah.
You're always kind of messing around with your boat, like
Yeah.
Billy did with putting a motor. He was working on that. I guess.
I'm gonna put your little 5 kicker on mine.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, but I mean, you play with them and you tinker with them, but also you don't have the gas costs. You don't have all these ongoing. You throw it in the back of your truck, off you go. And yeah, right. Charles just said, give it a few years, and there's going
it's
to be
coming.
Bassmaster Live for kayak fishing.
Wasn't,
absolutely, absolutely. I think it's the next thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even the next thing because it's already here.
Is there a kayak series for the college kids?
Don't think so. Don't think so.
I do know that.
My nephew fished. They fished.
I do
from
know a
boat.
bunch of college kids won a big tournament, and they were like the only fly fishing guys out of the boats.
Really?
And they won. I forgot what they won. Obviously, it's all in the fly fishing websites, but they did a huge tournament and they top dog and they were all using fly rods.
Wow,
That's pretty cool.
that is saying something.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, yeah, like it's just it's blowing up.
So I think it's safe to
Spend
say
a few $100s every year. Get a fishing guy like Pete Dahlberg, Walleye Pete. He'll put you on some big fish. You don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah,
It's cheap.
if you want to, and if you want to give a pedal drive a try, you can go to either. Somebody could go to either. It's like a commercial, Joey.
Yeah,
It's like an
I got
infomercial.
Titans coming.
So Joey's going to have rental boats that are pedal drives. And
Yeah.
how many are you going to have available? I'll let you go first.
3.
You're going to have 3 available.
2 Titans and a Slayer.
2 Titans and a Slayer. I'm going to have 3, maybe 4 boats. I'm decided what I'm going to do with that Slayer yet, because that Slayer's older. It's very narrow. I'm not as crazy about putting that out on the water as a rental. I might use that as my guide.
I thought that was your boat.
I haven't just really decided what I'm doing with it yet. It's just there.
You just like the Horde kayaks. No, I saw your barn.
I'm a kayak hoarder. I like to sit on them like dragons like to sit on gold. I sit on all my kayaks. No, you can go to Joey through Patuxent Adventure Center and you can rent a pedal drive, very nice Titan or Slayer that you can load in the back of your truck and you can take it wherever you want to go with it.
I'll give you a T-bone.
Yep. And you also then, if you just wanted to rent one and just hop right on the water, you don't want to have to transfer. Maybe you don't have a truck you could throw it in the bed of. You can come to me at Maryland Kayak Outfitters, and I've got boats that are sitting on the dock
water,
waiting to go. Nice pedal drive Titan 10.5s. Mine, unlike yours, I'm fully rigging mine out. Fish finders, battery boxes, flags, you name it, that boat's going to have it.
Yeah,
if you
I'm
need
not
it.
doing that.
Yeah, if you name it, that boat's got it, and it's on the water and it's ready to roll. In fact, I'm building the wet dock so that you're going to actually sit down in the boat. I'm going to hit the button on the lift, and you are just going to drop yourself
Can I
right
do that?
into the water. Yeah, and just float away. You don't have to scramble to figure out how to get into an odd boat that you've never been in before. You can just float away. So
Marcus will buy your Slayer from you. I know that's what he says. I have an idea what to do with that Slayer.
it's not going anywhere.
KBF does have a college series. Yep. Charles just said that, or at least Chad mentioned it. Not sure if it's up and running yet.
So I'm catching up too. Billy's just talking about needing a kayak trailer, that it's getting heavy. I just got myself, I don't know if you've watched the last couple
If you
weeks,
want to break
Billy.
your back even more, Billy, because I don't know much about you or your back, go buy a Harbor Freight and put it together.
No, you definitely don't want to be putting it
No.
together. You may want to have somebody else put it together.
Yeah.
They're not hard to put together, but God, is that thing heavy. You ever flipped a trailer over by yourself upside down? It was quite the feat, but yeah, I feel like the trailer's going to come together. This last week I put the winch on it. So
that's what I thought you were doing.
I cut some steel and put it up there by the tongue. So I added a little by the hitch. I added a little tongue weight and mounted the winch on that, so that when I back that trailer down the hill, I'm still at an angle. So that was really my goal, was to be able to pull that boat up onto the trailer. I took some old vinyl planking that I had laying around the barn.
Well, we should bring back planking.
And planking?
You know, like what?
No, I don't want to bring back planking.
Kayak planking.
And put that so that the boats slide really well, vinyl to vinyl, or that plastic slides on the vinyl really well.
Chris O'Connor's first time, maybe not first time.
Hey, Chris,
finally
good to
made
have
it.
you here. And Rudy's got me with 6 Jacksons.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's definitely a kayak addiction. Rudy, do you sit on top of all of yours?
That's
like
where
I do
we
all
are
the
going
time?
to Jackson there.
Oh, that would be a good one for you to get. You could get Jackson.
I wish. There's no one's taking new dealers.
I know. We talked about that.
Nobody. I'll do Crescent first, then Jackson.
So the fishing report, we've already seen some of the things that people have talked about here. The white perch over
we're
at
kinda all over,
Tangier.
sorry.
The bass are turning on St. Mary's Lake. The pickerel are still around. Now Charles sent me a bunch of pictures on Facebook.
Don't be a spot burner, Brian.
No, I'm not burning spot. I asked him what I could
See you,
share.
Sean.
So see you, Sean. I asked him what I could share, and he doesn't share his spot. Well, he has shared some spots with me, but he hasn't. I bet you. he
Don't
hasn't
share
shared.
with him,
I'm not
Charles.
sharing any.
Not you, I'm talking to Charles.
I'm not sharing any spots that aren't mine to share. But he sent me some pictures today. He fishes over on the Eastern Shore. He blew up the bass over there. I mean, big tanks showed up. And I asked him if I could share how he
was a Marine.
his tactic. And he basically said just slow rolling black and blue chatterbaits, just enough to keep the blade thumping. and staying well. He was actually telling me he was staying well off structure. So I guess those fish are still in the deeper water. They're still out off the structure. They haven't really come up yet, but they're eager to feed and they're eager to move. So I think right now, anywhere between those like deep water holding spots in relationship to where structure or cover may be that they want to eventually get to, they're going to start feeding in that zone is what it sounds like to me between here and there. So that's, and Charles, those were ridiculous fish for this time of year. Nicely done. Applause. Well done. Well done. Fantastic.
Marcus, well, hey guys, it's actually the wife. Miss Shannon's on. Joey, I think you broke Marcus today. It was a busy day. I told him it was a very mild version of a summer day, so we'll see how Marcus does.
Marcus may not come back.
I thought today was super. It went by fast. We were busy, but it was a very mild summer day.
So you said you're going down to you're getting boats. You're picking up boats. Boats are coming in.
I'm going North Kakalaki twice in the next few weeks.
Who here among our
me
friends?
Some barbecue.
Who do you need a ride along?
No, can't. COVID.
What?
I'm just getting the zone. I don't know. No, Friday I'm. Actually, hold on. Let's go back real quick.
Okay.
Chris wanted us, since everyone is back ordered on kayaks, any thoughts on the special package Bass Pro is selling? I don't know what that is. Though,
okay,
Chris.
I've seen that boat because I just got my Bass Pro catalog and I had a lot of fun flipping through the Bass Pro. It's the new Ascend, but it's like really long. It looks like a little aircraft carrier.
Oh, I think Michael Goldsmith has one.
And it's got the bow mounted trolling motor kind of thing.
Oh,
and I think it comes in right around $2,000. And I don't know if that includes.
Oh, it has a motor on it.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Who asked that question? Was it? You said it was Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Chris. I can't remember off the top of my head. Does that package price actually include the motor? I'm pretty sure it does, but I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't think it's going to come with the battery, so I think you're still in a position having to buy a battery.
They're still throwing something on there you got to buy.
Yeah, well, you're always going to throw something on there you got to buy. There's just no doubt. There's no ways around it. Yeah. So it looks like it's a very stable platform. I haven't looked at the specs on it, but I've seen a lot of pictures of it on Reddit. People have been dumping stuff out, throwing stuff out, and everybody's kind of talking about it because at that price point, with a battery, with a motor already installed and operational, it's bow-mounted motor.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of hard to go wrong. I honestly think it's hard to go wrong with any kind of kayak.
I'm going to be done with the kayak soon, I'm just saying.
You're going back to the paddleboard stuff?
No.
You're going to get a boat?
No, actually, no, my friend Dennis, in the last week it's not going to be my fishing.
Are you going back to a paddleboard?
No, I'm not going back.
Okay.
My friend's getting rid of a Parker 18 like you got. And he's moving like New Hampshire. He's basically giving it to me.
Oh, you are getting a boat?
I don't know.
I
mainly just don't. I ran that little skiff.
They're a pain. They're a pain.
I pay for my slip.
You
actually, what I want is a canoe. I've been wanting a canoe. Have you seen those?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I want like one that's decent size, little pulling platform in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Not like not a super sleek one.
Right.
I've been watching these backcountry so it's like bike packing.
Mm-hmm.
These guys down in Florida do like this overlanding bike packing thing with canoes and go in the backcountry and the Everglades and stuff. And there's so much places to stop.
Gaita.
It's awesome
Gaita
though.
country.
Like they'll do like 100-mile weekends. On those little things, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. They pack them out with gear. They go camping. That's cool.
We could do that with Titans though.
Yeah, we could do it on the Patuxent. They have that waterway trail.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that thing more than like 5 miles.
We could like just paddle up to like JPPM, Jefferson Patterson, and just set up tents out on the port.
I've paddled from Solomon's past Jefferson Patterson, right?
That's a long way.
On paddleboard?
On a paddleboard?
On a downwinder?
I know Dennis does that. Dennis goes long, like...
Me and Austin did it. I did it on my... so I used to use a Palhana Big Easy Angler, which is a pretty big, hefty fishing board.
Okay, so Chris just came back in. Right. Motor, battery, and fish finder included for $2,000. Oof, that's hard. That is really hard to beat. Chris, I mean, if you're looking at the specs on that, what is the... Maybe I should just go ahead and pull that up. What's the weight on that and the length? Could you put it in a truck, or do you need a trailer?
You need a license.
That would be one of the questions.
Registered and all that crap.
That would be the first question I would ask.
It's still cheaper than a Titan.
Still cheaper than a Titan, yep.
Yeah.
It's their Ascend. Where does it go? I've seen it. I can't seem to find it. I don't want to take up a lot of time on the podcast trying to find something and pulling it up. But, how much does it weigh is kind of like another question. How portable is it? And how wide is it? And how stable is it? And because I took my...
How do they back it up with all that stuff on it? As far as like warranty and defects and
133X recreational kayak. Yeah, there we go. So that's 13 feet long. That is a seriously
I know
big
the 13.5
boat.
Titan is 150 pounds. It's unmovable with one person, really. It's a tank.
I'm trying to see if I can find the weight on it.
How heavy is it?
It says 125 pounds, but that is the bare hull without the motor or the battery, I think, the 133X. Now, there's the version of it that comes with the battery and the fish finder and everything, and then there's a version of it that's just over $1,000 that is just the boat. That is a big, big, big boat to put in the back of a pickup truck. And it's a heavy one. That's about the same weight as my Topwater 120 at 125 pounds. And I didn't have any problems getting it in the back of my boat, but it wasn't 13 feet long. That's a big boat. So, I don't know, maybe do a little bit of homework on that. Yeah, Robert, I think
a boat and a trailer.
Yeah, that's a boat, a trailer.
How much did it weigh?
125 pounds, but that's without the motor or the battery.
Yeah, that's how much my Titan weighs.
Yeah, so now you're adding a motor and a battery. The battery's sort of the big thing.
I call it a motory.
Yeah. Too big to schlep 700 meters to the Severn by hand. Yeah. That's
too heavy.
That's a big boat to hold that long.
Yeah, that's a walk.
Yeah. So like I know, like when I would go over to Myrtle Grove, and I'd pull my PDL back. I didn't have a motor and a battery and all that other stuff, and I had my Boondocks on there. And by the time I got to where you would drop that boat in the water, you felt it, and you needed to take a little bit of a break. I can't imagine actually adding significant weight inside that boat and then pulling it that far. And that was just probably about 300 yards, maybe, if that. Probably not even that. It's probably more like 200 yards. Yeah, and Charles, you can get that Pro Angler 14 in the bed of a truck, but you're right. You got to strip it down before lifting it up in there. Now, have you ever seen, Charles? Have you seen the video of Christine Fisher?
Man,
putting her PA-14 in the back of her truck? It is well worth the watch. Wouldn't be hard to find. You've probably already seen it, but that chick works.
Oh yeah.
And the way she gets up in the bed of the truck and leans back and grabs the front of that boat and yanks it up. It's well worth the watch. Look that up. You know how big that PA-14 is because you handle it. And then to see her, like little skinny Christine Fisher actually jump up there and manhandle that boat up into the back of a truck is pretty legit. Very legit, in fact. And the way she jumps around that boat in her videos.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's crawling on the seat, crawling
standing
in the back.
on the front hatch.
Standing up on the hatch, hanging 10 off the front of her boat. Wow, we've gotten way off the rails. I don't even know where we are, Joey.
Real quickly, I just found this because I go to Fly Lords every day.
Mm-hmm.
On March 3rd, it came out today, there's a guy that caught the Montana state record brown trout, 32.43 pounds.
Holy smoke. That's a real fish?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That thing is ridiculous. Can you imagine catching that?
No.
This just looks like a... Ugh.
Did you give any indications to the tackle he used?
Right now, I would say his line came tight on a prehistoric-looking brown trout. Is confirmed Montana.
Wow. That is a big honking fish.
So the state record before that in 1966 was 29 pounds.
So he broke the record by over 4 pounds, over 5 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. And it was on a fly rod and fly line?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not much to that article, but
yeah, Robert was looking at the same thing. Yeah, it was a little tiny midge nymph.
Yeah. No, when those things get past I don't know, like 20-something inches, they stop eating the little. They're meat eaters.
They start eating the.
Yeah, you're slinging like big old streamer flies for those big.
Okay.
I mean, up in the Catskills, and there's some good videos because they have some really big brown trout up there. They're all at night, and they're eating like mice and stuff.
Oh,
like
wow.
guys are throwing like flies that look like mice and
Like snakehead.
yeah. No. When brown trout get plus 20 inches, they are ferocious.
Wow.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That's a world you know so much about, and
Yeah.
I know very little about.
That Catskills trip is
Yeah.
early May. It can't come soon enough.
I'm sure.
This weekend, though,
Yeah, tell us what you're doing.
finally have it nailed down because my friend Dan leaves next week. We're going out with my friend and Captain Perry McDougal again on Saturday for some redfish.
Should have
so I'm
good weather?
beyond excited. It is going to be 69 degrees.
Perfect.
No wind.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. I don't care. I mean, I want to catch fish, but I'm just
Yeah.
it's nice. So it's gonna be fun. I don't know if we'll do any fishing Sunday. I think we're just gonna hang out, and then I'll come home Monday. And the following week, I turn around and go down to Warsaw, which is just outside Wilmington by about 40 minutes for picking up a bunch of hurricane kayaks. So I wish I could line it up with fishing to get a bit more with Perry over in Swansboro. But that's actually a little bit of a drive over. But no, that's kind of about it. So hopefully I actually have fish talk to talk about next week.
Score.
'Cause I'll be back Monday. That's about it.
Yeah. I was talking about putting the winch on the trailer and testing that out. I've got 2 of my 3 boats fully rigged out now. Fish
Was your
finders
second one,
as
how was
well.
your second one today? How were those
Oh,
bolts?
well, I knew what I was doing, so it was a whole lot easier.
You know how to unscrew stuff?
No, don't you
I was
start
going
with
to tell
me.
you, just, get some bigger hands.
So the first boat I put together, Native, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Native's got a little bit of work to do
Well,
in their transducer
to be
mounting.
fair,
To be fair.
The Titan's old.
Mm-hmm.
The Titan itself is an old boat.
Mm-hmm.
The transducer and everything was totally different on the Slayer Max, a more up-to-date boat.
Okay.
Yeah, so I meant to tell you that, but I was busy.
Well, I mean, I figured it out. So, it's got the little cubby where the transducer goes, and it's got the 2 little set screws that you can use to bolt in. You got little 1/2-inch 1032 stainless steels, and they're holding this little plastic plate on there.
Yeah.
Well, for my old town, that plastic plate was actually thicker.
Oh, yeah.
And it had pockets where you could put screws through it, and then you could still actually then reattach that plate. So it was very universal in that regard.
I just took that starboard,
Yeah.
traced that little black plate,
Mhm.
drilled it, and cut it out and made a thick one.
Well, so I put the plastic plate back on.
Oh, I threw mine out.
No, I put the plastic plate back on because what I ended up having to do is because those Garmin mounts, the holes didn't line up.
Yeah.
And the holes were wider. So what I ended up doing was I took the plate, I set the transducer mount on it, and then one side was using the existing system, and then on the other side I punched a new hole.
Uh-huh.
And I got a machine screw, a stainless machine screw, and in that hole I countersunk it on the back, so I brought a post out. Okay? Then I mounted that post and swung the mount up out of the way, put the plate back, and then put the screw back into the hole on what would be underneath the mount.
Mm-hmm.
Swung the mount back on top of it, then locked in I got a longer screw that would go through both the plate and the mount, the transducer mount. I did have to flip the transducer mount upside down from what it wanted to be to get it up in the pocket. And then I set the other side on that post and bolted it down. The tricky part is once the transducer, because you got to have the transducer mounted in the bracket in the right spot
Yeah.
before you do all of that, and then you're trying to get to the bolts that are sort of behind the transducer. So I did have to kind of finagle and kind of play with some needle nose pliers and some wrenches and some all different kind of things to get those last 2 screws tight. But it ended up working, and the transducer sits well up out of the cubby. It's well up inside the boat. So no worries, especially in the world of a rental, that transducer is very, very, very well protected up inside the boat. So I'm not going to have any problems there. But doing that the first time, oh my God, trying to figure that out. And then to complicate facts, one of the screws that was in there, one of the bolts that was in there was actually cross-threaded, and then it stripped out on me.
You just glue it back in there and force it?
No, what I did was I took some vice grips, and I got a hold of the side of that because it's a pan head, so it's kind of round on the top, so that didn't help either because the vice grips wanted to keep sliding off of it. But I eventually got it to bite and got it to move a little bit. Once I got it to move a little bit and loosened it up. But it was most assuredly cross-threaded inside of there because when I went down to Sneed's and I got, so if anybody's interested in what those are, they are 1032 half-inch pan heads or what it boat comes with. And I bought a whole bunch of 3/4 inch because when I wanted to punch through the mount and punch through the plate, I had to add the distance. They're 1032 stainless, and that little pan head was hard to get a hold of with those vice grips. But then once I got the new bolt, and I kind of like carefully threaded it in, it kind of straightened the threads out. So it was just tight to come out, And then for the second boat, the one I did today, I just went ahead and flipped everything upside down and worked. I didn't try to work from underneath. I just turned the boat over and started working from the top down, and that made a difference too. So, I don't know.
I feel like I was drunk and did mine.
I'm sorry, that probably went kind of deep, but I know some people were interested. Phil, I think, was interested because he's got
he's doing the whole.
He's doing the side kick, kind of thing.
We still have to do.
But I know that eventually, what Phil is going to want to do, he's going to want to put that transducer underneath the boat because dealing with that little sidearm sidekick thing when you're fighting fish off of there,
Michael Jackson,
and you got that thing and you're knocking it around. Phil, eventually you're going to want to put that transducer underneath the boat. I pretty much guarantee it. I would. What are you going to do with your dad's on his Titan?
Probably the same thing I did on mine. Drink some alcohol and figure. Like I said, I didn't do that on mine.
Which did you get him that same little Garmin unit that I got the 4?
Yeah, it's got the same exact boat and everything.
So he is going to have the same issue.
Hopefully not cross-threaded.
It doesn't.
Like I said I don't remember, but I have the same transducer mount and everything with my 12.
Mine were much.
In my Clearview, I think the only thing I did, I trimmed my Garmin adapter and flipped it inverted. So that way, when I slide it off my dock, it actually sits up higher than any surface.
I had to do that, yeah. So it sits up inside the cubby really nicely, but I had no holes that lined up when I either flipping it the way that they wanted it or flipping it upside down. I had no holes that lined up with those, and you didn't have the opportunity to punch any new holes in it because
that's
that way that mount is made. Everywhere you would want to put a new hole was on the arm of the structural part of the transducer bracket, and it would have actually caused a problem.
Like I said, I just took that little black plate, traced it starboard, make a bigger one, drilled holes through it, and then I was able to punch through it.
Yeah, but I mean that's
okay. I mean
that's the same issue though. You just made the same bracket out of starboard.
Yeah, but I don't remember having problems.
Well, your transducer for your different unit.
Yeah, but don't you have a Clearview transducer?
Yeah, but I mean I don't know. There's got to be something different with it. There's got to be something different with it. We'll see. I took some pictures of it, and I'll show you.
I don't know what it looks like anymore.
Yeah,
it's sitting in the store.
It was a little tricky, but I figured it out is the important thing. And then for the second one that I did today, it went like clockwork. It was just
the third one. You should just wake up and it'd be done.
Yeah, I don't even remember doing it. I don't even remember having done it. So I got my crates in. Put my battery boxes in, punched some holes in the side of the crates to get the SAE plug, wired everything together. Everything works beautifully. One thing I did do, since, I'm not moving the power cable back inside the hull to come back out.
Yeah.
I'm actually running it underneath the seat. I took some 4-inch Gorilla Tape and kind of taped the cable down along the side, the gunnel of the boat.
Yeah,
over to the point where it loops in to go underneath the seat to kind of get it out of the way, and it's not going to catch on things, and just to kind of keep it clean. So that was my day, the last 2 days. And it's amazing how long it actually takes things to do it. And you would think in that barn, as much stuff as I have, how many trips I had to make to Sneed's for bolts and all the little this, that's, and the others was quite impressive.
Um,
What is Marcus doing?
I have no idea. I think that's Shannon now.
What is Shannon
Are
doing?
there any kayak guides in Lower Bay Area for redfish?
Hmm.
I know Chris Dollars is further north.
That's Virginia, right? If you're saying true Lower Bay, is that
Yeah,
Virginia?
no. So I'm thinking Chris used to travel. Man, I'm having a huge brain fart with.
Well, Maryland is. This is the first year you can use pedal drive boats as a kayak guide, and in fact, the limited guide license has only been around for 2 years. So I'm not sure what kind of kayak guides may actually be down in Virginia. They're under a totally different thing than I'm familiar with. It's actually Marcus. It's back. So Marcus was doing all the gibberish there.
Like I said, Corey Ruth used to do a lot of stuff down Lower Bay. He lives in out in Virginia Beach area. He used to do a lot of back bay. He still does. I don't think he does kayaks anymore down that way. He got a new flat skiff. He was a huge kayak guy down there.
So Matt, I caught a bunch of pumpy drum in St. Leonard
Pumpy?
Creek. Pumpy drum. Pumpy. That's a good name. We call them
Pumpy
pumpy
drum.
drum. And we're all crossing our fingers that those little puppy drum come back as full-fledged redfish this year.
Oh yeah, we had an amazing year with puppy drum.
And if those redfish, if those puppy drum come back as redfish in my creek, you're looking at the kayak guy that can put you on a boat and put you on those redfish.
What if he doesn't
right
live
here
up here?
right now? What's that?
What if he doesn't live up here?
Oh, no, he said it doesn't have to be Lower Bay. It could be up in Maryland.
Oh,
He said that a little bit later down.
they've always been, here and there down in southern St. Mary's and Point Lookout area. But it
like
wasn't
last
until
year.
recently that
Yeah.
they were catching them all the way north of the Bay Bridge
Yeah, I mean,
in Annapolis. So,
come back strong.
Marcus kicked her out. I don't know what they're talking about, a pizza recipe.
I think it was me with my ramblings about how I had to mount the kayak. And sorry, I was blathering everybody. It's what we tend to do every once in a while from time to time. So what else? I don't have any show notes, Joey. Is there anything else going on in the world
No.
of fishing? I mean,
Like I said, all the kayak stuff, being on the front runner of everything. I'm kind of tired, so I'm kind of losing traction.
yeah, I'm with you. I'll go back over to the chat. Okay. We got this or that's tonight, Joey?
Yep.
You wrote them. I don't even know where they are. I don't have a clue.
I made show notes.
Are they? Let me look in here. But I don't see the show
March
notes.
9th, 2021.
Oh, let me see. Stand by, everybody, while
You want me to do the Brian?
I don't see them in the drive. Are they in the drive? Did you share them with me?
I don't know. I just copied them.
No, I don't see it. So yeah, you may actually need to do them. That'll be fun. Let's let you do that. You do that.
Yeah, well, I'll send them to you anyway. All right, I shared them. All right, the first this or that from Paul, who sent it to me today. Straight rod handle or pistol grip?
Well, pistol grip's going to be. No, I would go straight rod.
I don't know
Straight
what that
handle.
is. Pistol
It's-
grip like on a bait caster?
Yeah, like a bait caster. They used to have, and I've got one at home. It's sort of an old style. It's a very short grip that comes off the back of a bait caster, and it's got the little hook.
Oh, yeah,
you
for your-
hook
yeah.
your finger. But then the rod itself it sort of just fits this in the palm of your hand, as opposed to bait casters today that you can grab a hold of the butt end of the rod
yeah.
with the
I like-
second hand and
I like a
that.
nice 20-inch.
yeah. Yeah.
I want a really big butt on a bait
So
caster.
that pistol grip, you're really only able to throw that bait caster
Oh,
with
no, I
one
want that.
hand. Good for pitching.
Yeah.
That's really the only way I would ever use one when I had that pistol grip.
Are you a pitcher or catcher?
I'm gonna go there. But yeah, for pitching, that's fine because you're really only using it one hand. You're holding the bait with the other, and you're kind of swinging it out. But I would definitely go with a longer straight rod as opposed to a pistol grip.
Phil, it's Brendan. I've been corrected. There's no Brendan or Casey tonight.
No Brendan or Casey.
Did we ban them?
I'd take a picture of that and send it to Brendan.
All right. So,
Anybody have
no
any
one
comments?
into that?
Yeah,
or
people-
no one in the comments?
Your dad said pistol grip for spinner baits. So I still I want the second hand when I'm throwing a bait caster. I want the second hand behind. I like that.
I want a
feel of
nice.
being
Yeah.
able to get the leverage,
Yeah.
even for a spinnerbait. Okay, you got another one?
All right. Step on a Lego or have a hook with a barb lodged in your ear.
I would rather dance on Legos than have a hook lodged, because that would freak me out. Not only you've got a hook
You want an
lodged in your
earring?
ear, but then how close did that come to your eye or your your
I just
face
said ear.
in general? You said
Always
ear.
wear glasses and wear a hat.
Always wear glasses and wear a hat.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about your eyes.
Oh, but it could rip your $400 Costas right off your face and put them in the drink. That would suck.
Yeah, but I need my eyes.
Yeah, I would definitely still. I would definitely.
That's like a bike you spend. You have a $250 bike helmet.
true.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't have any problem with that. I just don't want them ripping them off and going in the drink. I don't want
I'd
my
rather
glasses
do that than
going to
poke my eye. If I lost my Costas and saved my eye, sure.
I had kids. You know how many times I stepped on Legos?
Logos?
Lego.
I don't know.
Stepped on Legos.
Right.
It's late. I would definitely step on a leg over having a hook.
You walk like
anywhere.
on a 6-foot pile of Legos to cross it like a cola.
Yeah, like on The Office when we had
Yeah.
to, like when Pam crossed
Pam,
the
yeah, Noah Soller.
not doing that. What would you do? You would take the hook?
I'd probably take the hook.
Would you really?
Why not? I didn't
It's
say how
just
big
a
it
Lego.
was.
It's just a Lego, and you step on it,
Legos suck.
and you go ow, and then you jump away, and you go,
I don't need
Jess,
my earlobe."
you've left your Legos laying
Yeah, but what
around."
if my foot's damaged for a while? I can't walk around it. Have you used crutches for a long period of time? Hurt your armpits.
Yeah, I blew my knee out.
Yeah,
I
your
had
armpits.
crutches for a long time. I had crutches for
Yeah,
all
nowadays
kinds
they
of-
don't use crutches.
They use a little roller thing.
Yeah.
to put your foot up on it.
No.
Kids today.
Kids these days,
Kids,
you know.
the Utes.
You know, your friends didn't drive around parking as far away as possible while you were the one on crutches just for fun, did they? 'Cause that's what they did to me.
I think hands down right over here. Your dad said Legos. Paul said Legos. Robert said Lego. Phil said Lego. Marcus said Lego. You are all alone.
You guys
on
are
an
all-
island.
You
over
guys are all
there.
going to get hooked in the ear this year.
No, we're not. We're all going to step on Legos and watch you with baits hanging out of your ears like.
I'll
like
keep it in.
strange.
I
You would
saw a
just leave it
guy
that
this
way?
morning on Instagram with a frog with a barb. He could feel it in this, like rubbing against his teeth. It went that deep.
Oh my goodness.
So he went to the hospital and then cut
That's
it.
why you carry diamond cutters. That's why you carry diamond cutters. Snip that tip.
That's why you pinch your barbs.
Pinch your barbs. Yeah, that's the other thing.
Pinch your barbs, eh?
Yeah, pinch your barb. That was a letter, Kenny.
Yeah.
Barb.
All
Pinch your
right.
barb.
I wrote. I came up with this one. It's not anything special. Have a sharp knife and rusty pliers, or a rusty knife and squeaky clean pliers.
Ooh, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Did you
thank
write
you.
that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Rusty plier with a good knife,
Yeah.
or a rusty knife with good pliers.
Yeah.
I can't live without a knife. I don't know that I could go, because now we're talking just in general too. Or are you just talking about when you're fishing?
Fishing. I carry a knife with me every day, but
Yeah, this is tough, Joey. This
Yeah.
is a very good this or
I
that.
saw some new Gerber pliers I really want.
I would probably, if I'm on the boat, I'd rather have the pliers than the knife. I
Hmm.
don't think I use the knife as much on the boat, but in everyday life, I'm always with the knife. So I would go with the good pliers
Good pliers, bad knife.
on the boat when I'm fishing. What about you?
I don't know. I never had an answer when I wrote it. Like I almost want to. I kind of got rusty pliers.
But
Actually, I have those like the original like floating pliers from like way long ago. They
Mhm.
have like they're blue with a green handle. They're
Mhm.
squishy.
I have some of those.
I bought them at West Marine before or Boaters World,
Uh-huh.
and they're in my kayak right now. I never lose them. Like I want to lose them to justify new.
You can get some new ones.
But there's a couple metal pieces I replaced. Otherwise, they're not going to rust.
Yeah.
They're really tough. I really want a new pair. I saw Gerber had some nice ones.
Max is snoring over here.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go with a nice knife. I think it's more valuable to me.
I've been thinking about this a little bit more. You can still get function out of a rusty knife for what you need. Because what do you use a knife for when you're fishing on the boat? On a kayak? Are you cutting bait?
I want it for safety. I do keep a dive knife in my vest.
Yeah, I'm actually adding one of those to mine this year up here on the side.
That's more of a situation. I feel like I've had a couple situations where I needed pliers for fish, but basically never had to use it because with pinch barbs and whatnot, I'm just that good of a fisherman. I catch them.
Always in the hook.
Oh yeah,
always in the
yeah,
corner of the mouth.
Never,
always,
they never swallow it.
Always,
I'm also at the point
right
though
there.
where if it's past a point, I don't try to rip that hook out. I cut
Just
it.
cut it. Yeah.
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 So I don't know.
But I think a rusty knife would still actually work.
Yeah.
What you need it to work for,
Till you
if
get
that makes
tetanus.
sense. Until you stick yourself with it. Yeah. You got any more of this or that? We got any more over there?
That was it. Unless
That's
someone
it?
has a good this or that before we sign off.
Chris
let's-
popped back in looking for yellow perch news. Yeah, we heard some folks here earlier that were talking about how they're really starting to turn on. So
Yep.
next couple of weeks, your yellow perch holes should
They
be
should
on
be
fire.
yellow. Paul said rusty pliers with a good knife, and then Robert said rusty knife, good pliers, and then Marcus said good pliers, and then Phil said rusty knife, good pliers. A rusty plier may not even open up. It's true.
Yeah.
I think I have a pair in here.
Yeah, you can try to make them do that, but you're going to get the function that you need out of a rusty knife. But if you've got rusty pliers, they're just, like Phil just said, they're not even going to function. What are you digging around for over there?
I found one of those pair, like the big hemostats.
Uh-huh. All rusted up and nasty. Why do you still have it? Jess probably threw it away.
No, I have it. I got it for fishing, but I never. That's the something I lose all the time.
I lose them all the time.
But those dang blue and green floating ones.
Hey, was it you that sent me the picture of the trout with the plastics all in its belly?
Yeah.
Public service announcement as we're coming into the
walleye or
spring.
something.
Don't throw your plastics in the water.
That thing had 7 or 8
Yeah.
more.
If you've ever seen a really skinny bass with a big head, they eat
choked
the
up.
plastics. You may think, oh, it's no good. It's going to sink to the bottom. But that fish is going to come along just like he eats it when you got a line and a hook on the end of it. They're going to eat it, but this time it's going to go right down in their gullet and it blocks their bellies up, and then they can't feed
Have you seen the
anymore.
videos where guys were coming out of or they pulled him out of the fish? They were coming out of its poop hole.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to pull a whole Cinco out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, we've all caught them. Those fish that just look like you want to buy it a cheeseburger, and you know what's going on. That stomach is just full of plastics. So, not about a public service announcement. Don't throw your plastics in the water. Throw them in the bottom of your boat. Throw them back in your box,
Don't use plastics.
and
Tie your own flies.
or use gulp, something like a gulp.
Is that biodegradable or whatever it's called?
Yeah, it'll eventually degrade. So something like that, if the fish eats it, it will eventually disappear from in their gullet, as opposed to a piece of actual plastic that
Yeah.
will just sit down there and eventually kill the fish. So public service announcement as we head into the season.
Yeah.
Good thing to do. Don't throw your plastics in the water.
Never.
Okay, Joey, you got anything else before we shut it down?
No.
No.
That's about it.
Okay.
Can't get boats for about 2 more years, so.
Yep. Phil said caught a bass today and was able to recover Senko and a hook from its throat.
Oh, that
See?
was mine.
There you go. Actually,
That counts as my fish.
do you know that happened to
Yeah.
me last year with me and Jerry?
Yeah, didn't you catch one of Jerry's?
I caught a fish like 2 weeks after Jerry had that fish break off, and his Senko and hook, and it was very distinguished.
He was at the club too, right?
I think it might have been at Mason Springs over at Myrtle Grove. Might have been at Myrtle Grove. But I sent him a picture of it because I knew that's what he was fishing. And I remember him talking about getting into a nice fish and having it break off. And I sent him a picture. I said, "Is this your bait?" He sent me a message like, "Where'd you get that?" I said, "Out of the corner of a fish's mouth." About
Oh, yeah, you won't really have a Jerry this year like you did last year.
I know.
Yeah.
Jerry was on COVID vacation, on coronavirus vacation, and fished with me almost every day. So, but I'm sure Jerry will still.
Oh,
come
here's a
into
good.
the
Is that
mix.
Jerry with a pistol or Jerry as Jerry? I'm scared of just Jerry as Jerry.
Thanks everybody for listening this week. It's been a lot of fun. I know we didn't have a lot of news to report, but I think we're getting close to the time when we are going to just be chock full. Excited to see Phil saying he caught bass today. Charles is out there catching bass. We're hearing about the yellow perch. It's starting to happen. 2021 going to be a different year. Gas prices are going up, so get yourself a kayak. Ditch the gas.
You
Get
can't
the oil.
get kayaks anymore.
Well, you can find one somewhere in the end of the year. PB&J color, yeah, that peanut butter and jelly this time of year. Anything natural this time of year is going to turn them on.
Peanut butter and jelly natural to a bass.
Yeah, because it's kind of like that earthy,
Are they Skippy or Jeff?
that peanut buttery color. It's not crunchy though; it's
Or
creamy.
do they put the little smiley face in it?
no,
Oh.
kind of purplish.
Yeah.
On
Do they use
you know.
marshmallow fluff on it?
Stop it. Again, thanks everybody for listening to
Marshmallow
this
fluff is
episode of the
great with
Maryland
peanut
Fishing
butter.
Line. We're a publication. We're a production of the Chesapeake Angler Magazine. We're everywhere. Oh God, Joey, it's late.
I know I'm way past my bedtime.
Oh,
I was
it
in
is
bed
so
at
early.
7:50 last night.
Time change this weekend. Don't
I
forget
did think
about
I
that.
texted. Oh yeah, I'll be down in Kakalaki.
Mm-hmm. Time change coming up. Okay, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'm on Instagram at Chesapeake Angler and at BN Range. Joey, how can folks get in touch with you?
Just call me.
Just call him. Hey, Joey.
I'm at Joey Sikorsky 24 or at Pack Paddle Sports.
You can get hold of Joey at Patuxent Adventure Center. Follow us along at youtube.com/Chesapeake Angler. And we'll talk to you again next week.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Click that button. Thank you, live stream. Thank you, Phil, Marcus, Billy. I don't know who's still here, but Billy, hope your back feels better. Paul, everybody, Robert, Rudy, Matt. Thanks
Sounds
for
like
joining
Marcus
us
needs a
tonight,
good
guys.
rest after his day in the shop today.
Yeah, get some good night's sleep, Marcus. We all want to see you back fresh and strong. All right, good night, everybody. Gonna hit the button.